Some of the smartest people you know are struggling financially. And it's not because they're lazy. It's not because they got unlucky. So why does intelligence fail where money is concerned? Because the version of smart you were rewarded for is often the exact thing keeping you stuck. And if that feels personal, that's the point. Most people grow up inside a simple myth. Smart equals successful. You can feel it in the way families talk. You can see it in the way teachers praise. You can hear it when someone says, "She's going to do great in life. She's so smart." School trains your brain to believe there's a straight line between intelligence and reward. Give the right answer, get the points. Follow the rules, get the approval. Do the work, earn the grade. Then adult life starts and the line disappears. The person with the highest GPA is still living paycheck to paycheck. The person who reads the most books keeps saying, "I'm planning something big," but never ships anything. The person with the sharpest opinions has the smallest bank account. And it's confusing because it feels unfair. But it's not unfair. It's just a different game. Intelligence is rewarded in classrooms because the classroom is designed to measure it. Markets are not. Markets don't care how smart you are. Markets care what changes because you showed up. Markets care what you can create, what you can sell, what you can scale, what you can deliver consistently, what problem you can remove for other people. And the most dangerous part is this. A smart person can feel productive for years without ever becoming effective. That's where it begins. The first trap is overthinking. Smart people see more angles, more outcomes, more risk, more nuance. And that sounds like a superpower until it becomes a reason to delay. A less intelligent person often takes action with incomplete information. They learn by doing. They make mistakes in public. They move. They adjust. A smart person sits down to do it right. They research for weeks. They compare options. They build the perfect plan. They watch the same type of video from 10 different creators. They read the threads, save the bookmarks, collect the frameworks, and keep telling themselves the same line. "I'm not ready yet." Here's what that really means. I'm not safe yet. Because once you act, you can be judged. Once you act, you can fail. Once you act, you can discover you're not special. And when your identity is built on being smart, that discovery feels terrifying. So instead of failing fast, smart people hesitate perfectly. They don't crash. They don't burn. They don't blow up. They just stall. They stay in the planning room forever because the planning room protects their ego. In the planning room, you can still be the smart one. In the planning room, you can still imagine a future where you win. In the planning room, you don't have to face the version of you that might be average. And that's why intelligence can turn into a cage. It gives you a million reasons to wait. The second trap is safety addiction. If you were praised for being smart, you didn't just learn information, you learned a role. You learned that being smart gets you love, respect, attention, approval. It becomes a part of how people see you and how you see yourself. And once something becomes identity, you start protecting it like it's your life. That's when you start choosing certainty over opportunity. You choose the path that looks respectable, not the path that creates leverage. You choose the job title you can explain at a family dinner, not the work that actually builds wealth. You choose stability, because stability lets you keep your self-image intact. And let's be honest, safety feels good. It feels responsible. It feels mature. It feels like you're doing the right thing. But safety has a hidden cost. Safety makes your life smaller. Safety makes you repeat the same week until it becomes a decade. Because when you chase certainty, you stop chasing upside. And upside is where money lives. The third trap is effort in the wrong direction. Smart people work hard. Sometimes they're the hardest working people in the room. That's why this is so painful. The problem isn't effort. The problem is the system they're applying effort to. A lot of smart people play a game that is designed to keep them replaceable. They climb corporate ladders where the reward isn't always impact, it's politics, it's timing, it's visibility, it's being in the right room, it's being liked by the right person, it's waiting long enough. So a smart person keeps upgrading their skills for a game that doesn't pay proportionally. They take on extra projects. They fix things no one else can fix. They become the reliable one, the competent one, the go-to person. And then they look up 5 years later and realize something brutal. Competence made them useful, not wealthy. Or they fall into the education trap. One more degree, one more certification, one more course, one more program, one more stack of knowledge. And learning is good. Learning matters. Learning can change your life. But learning can also be a socially acceptable form of procrastination. Because studying feels like progress without the risk of exposure. You can spend years becoming ready and never become visible. You can spend years becoming qualified and never become paid. The fourth trap is the mirror. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Because you already know if this is you. Do you keep preparing but never feel ready? Do you wait to feel confident before you start? Do you tell yourself you're being strategic, but deep down you know you're afraid to look inexperienced? Do you feel a weird tension when someone less intelligent than you is making more money than you, and you can't? Explain it without getting bitter. Do you feel like you're always one step away from the life you want, but somehow that step never happens? Here's the line you don't want to admit out loud. You might be protecting the identity of being smart more than you're protecting your future. Because the moment you fully commit to something in public, you risk losing the label. You risk becoming a beginner. You risk looking foolish. You risk failing in a way you can't intellectualize your way out of. And that's why a lot of smart people stay trapped in observation. They become critics. They become analysts. They become people who can explain exactly why something will fail. And that skill feels powerful until you realize it doesn't produce anything. Now, zoom out. The real difference isn't intelligence, it's leverage. Intelligence is input. Leverage is multiplier. Intelligence says, I can work harder, I can do better, I can think deeper. Leverage says, I can create a result that grows even when I'm not pushing every second. A smart employee can write the best report in the department, but an average creator with distribution can sell a simple product to a massive audience. A smart planner can design a beautiful strategy, but an average executor who ships every week will win because the world can only reward what it can see. Most smart people don't have a talent problem, they have a leverage problem. They attach their value to how smart they are instead of what their work can multiply into. They focus on being right instead of being effective. They focus on internal validation instead of external results. And the market is brutally honest about this. The market does not pay you for your potential. The market does not pay you for your intelligence. The market pays you for impact. Now here comes another trap that smart people fall into: respecting rules too much. If school trained you well, you were rewarded for following instructions. There was a correct way to do things. You did it. You got rewarded. So you carry that rule-following mindset into money. You ask for permission. You wait for validation. You try to do things the right way. You want a guarantee. You want a green light. You want someone to tell you it's safe to begin. But wealth doesn't grow inside permission. Wealth grows inside initiative. Most people wait until something looks respectable. That's the whole problem. By the time it looks respectable, the upside is smaller, the competition is bigger, and the price of entry is higher. Smart people often miss the messy phase because the messy phase threatens their identity. And that leads to the ego problem. This is the part no one wants to talk about because it sounds harsh. Being smart can make you arrogant in a quiet way. Not loud arrogance, not bragging, a quieter kind. The kind where you subconsciously believe you shouldn't have to struggle like everyone else. The kind where you avoid beginner work because it feels beneath you. The kind where you think, if I'm really smart, I should be able to do this without looking stupid. So you don't post until it's perfect. You don't sell until you're flawless. You don't start until you're sure you'll win. And while you're waiting to look competent, someone else is building. Someone else is embarrassing themselves publicly. Someone else is getting rejected, improving, adapting, and stacking real experience. A dumb beginner will do 50 reps. A smart person will do 5 reps and then overthink the feedback until they stop. A dumb beginner will launch an imperfect offer and learn what people actually want. A smart person will write the perfect business plan and never face a real customer. Intelligence becomes a cage when it refuses to look stupid. Now connect everything. Overthinking makes you slow. Safety addiction makes you choose low upside paths. Effort in the wrong system makes you useful but replaceable. Rule worship makes you wait for permission. Ego makes you avoid the beginner phase. Put it together and you get the most uncomfortable truth in this entire video. Smart people stay poor because intelligence feels productive without being effective. Thinking feels like work. Planning feels like progress. Learning feels like achievement. But none of it is the thing. Because the thing is building. And building is uncomfortable. Building has rejection. Building has public mistakes. Building has awkward first attempts. Building has the moment where you realize you're not special yet. And smart people hate that moment. They'd rather stay in their head where they always win. Thinking feels safe. Building feels risky. And risk threatens identity. So a lot of smart people quietly choose poverty because it's familiar, and it lets them keep the one thing they value most, the story that they're smart. Here's the calm ending, with no motivational checklist, no here's what to do next, no fake hype. Some smart people will never escape. Not because they can't, because they won't let go. They won't let go of being the smart one. They won't become a beginner. They won't do the embarrassing reps. They won't trade approval for outcomes. They won't trade perfection for speed. They won't trade safety for upside. And the hardest part is this. Letting go of being smart is harder than being poor. So here's the only question that matters. If intelligence hasn't changed your life yet, what exactly are you protecting?